All right. Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another exciting round of Contingent Esports League of Legends. We have tonight for you Contingent Esport versus Chaotic Kirbygasm. And if I'm correct, this will be a best of three.
Yes, this is the upper bracket of the UML league, so there's going to be a best of three. And then
Excellent.
it's only in the grand finals, as far as I'm aware, that it's going to be best of fives.
All right. Well, we'll be jumping right into draft, and I just realized I forgot to introduce myself. Well, I am, of course, Megalithon, and with me tonight as colorcaster, we have
You're
Urazi. Urazi?
Uraazi. My Twitter tag is Urasberry, so can't really go wrong with any of those.
There you go.
And I'm
There you
also
go.
on production tonight, so it's gonna be a bit to juggle, but we should be able to take it through.
I bet you you'll do a fine job. So right now, going right into draft, we have an Aatrox banned by Contingent, a Nazir banned by Kirbygasm, followed by a Caitlyn banned by Contingent, an Orin banned by Kirbygasm. Man, these bans are going by fast and furiously.
Yeah, like these teams have had their fair share of the UML. If they've not played other tournaments by now, they've figured out like, okay, this our team cannot deal with, or this we really don't want to play against or with. And they're just gonna get slammed as per usual for Contingent.
Yeah, it's the big burly frost man again showing up here for Contingent Esports. So I'm guessing it's going to be more of a mid game farming comp they're going for if they're prepared to lock into Udyr first.
I mean, yeah, Contingent Esports like blinds Udyr top like basically every game. Cuddle Snuffle's just I don't know a bit of a Udyr connoisseur. Same with Arland, but
Mm,
Seraphine. We're gonna see where that
yeah.
goes. I'm really hoping that goes mid or bot and not support, because it hurts me physically when I see that going
Mm.
support.
Yeah, I think Seraphine support recently has not been as not made much of a showing, unfortunately. But the Lilia as well locked in could either be top or jungle as well. So that's gonna be exciting to see where that goes. And Contingent's gonna hover the Varus.
They are
So,
still
so that
hovering it.
they are still hovering it. They haven't decided. It looks like it will be locked in.
Yeah, it will be locked in just
Yep,
now.
there you go. So Varus ADC.
Mm.
Uh,
Not sure if
don't,
it's gonna be RE10 who takes that mid or pure salt
okay.
taking it AD carry, but
Yes. Well, I know Varus has been pretty solid recently as being like that big tank shredder with the extra attack speed and on hits that he can build to shred through all that health and armor.
yeah, the attack speed build, or well, Varus attack speed has always been good. It's just
Yes.
recently people have figured out just how good it is, and we see a bit of a counter pick almost, I'd say, to that with Tristana. If it's going AD carry at least, Tristana, as we know, very strong in the early game, and
Yes.
if you don't have some kind of controlling support or some mage that can keep Tristana out, it's gonna be rough.
Yeah, and Tristan's also pretty good at the jumping out of the cataclysm of the Jarvan that was locked in by contingent as well, and that will be locked in. Going to into band phase two, we have an Oriana for Kirbygasm and an Yone for contingent.
Yeah, it seems like Kirbygasm thinks it's AD carry Varus because they're banning out mid laners, and we'll see. Maybe Contingent throws a curveball, like pick.
Maybe.
Yeah, no clue so far.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to round out their bands with a Silas band for Kirbygasm.
Yeah, and Contingent are gonna ban out Yone and Rondon, and not really sure what they're gonna ban out. Because it's probably Lily at top or jungle, and I don't think Udyr really has any losing matchups. It's gonna be the Akali. A lot of mid
Yeah,
laners.
yeah. I'm guessing they feel like probably that they have the strategy to counter the rest of the map and just focusing down the mid lane and seeing maybe pushing him down lower onto his champion pool, see what he can pull out.
Yeah, I suppose so. But so far, I haven't really seen Akali being played too much outside the worlds, and we have the Maokai.
We
Hmm.
do have the tree man. This still makes it a bit of a mystery where that Lilia is going to go because, of course, both those champions can be flexed either mid or jungle. Heck, the Maokai can be flexed all the way down to support if they really want to.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Maokai mid in some of my solo queue games as
Mm.
well, but not to as much success.
Ah, yes. I imagine. And right now, Contingent's hovering to Thresh. Thresh Varus, nice safe lane. Plenty of damage there as well.
Yeah, a bit of a good out for Varus. He doesn't get caught as much by the Tristana. And you can pull Tristana out of her jump either forward or backwards, so that's really gonna help in that lane.
That is true. That is true. I forgot about that. That flay back just to if you time it right, just pull the Tristana right out of the air back into the waiting arms of your beautiful box or hook.
Yeah, so we're gonna hope that support really pulls that. And Syndra mid, we're gonna see. New
Hmm.
Syndra, as people may or may not know, is now all of a sudden a scaling champion that gains stacks.
She sure does. She plays pretty much the same though. So like you're not you still get the balls on the ground. You still got throwing minions and more balls around, and of course the almighty range stun.
Indeed. Are we actually gonna see the Rakan?
We are seeing the
Okay.
Rakan.
Now I'm hyped, actually. It's
Hmm.
such an explosive lane and bot.
I am a big fan of Rakans. Like a well played Rakan is not only is it so fun to watch, but it can be like game changing if you get that good flank on the right person.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm actually not sure what the Thresh Rakan interaction is. Can Thresh flay Rakan out of his W?
I am not sure. I haven't personally seen that. Theoretically, I think you can. You might be. It might interrupt it. Now, does that interaction function a lot like say the Scion queue, where if you interrupt the Scion queue wind up, you get the portion of the refund back on the cooldown?
I'm not too sure actually, but
Yeah.
depending on that, it may change how the matchup is gonna go. But we see a very much two different types of playstyles. I'd almost say the Seraphine is kind of weird in Kirbygasm's comp because all of their champions for me are just saying, okay, we want to get ahead in the early game, like Tristana with Rakan. You really want to get that bot lead going on. So we're probably gonna see the Lilia, who I'm gonna presume, or Mauk, I don't know, whoever the jungler is on Kirbygasm, probably gonna be ganking bot a lot or playing around bot waves and bot prio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna defer to you on that one because I'm actually not sure what's gonna happen here. Because all I see a Seraphine, I'm thinking the big old heal shield bubble into it with a team comp that kind of just wants to like beat a big team fight. Whereas contingent here looks like they have a bit more of a pick comp, I would say, with the a lot of ways to catch someone out and blow them up real quick.
Yeah, definitely, Varus are one of the better catching abilities, and Fresh may not be the tankiest support out there, but can definitely accomplish stuff, I'd say.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see what runes um Doge brings with this Thresh. Because there's a couple different builds. You can play the very defensive, of course, with Guardian. You can grab yourself an aftershock to make you tankier when you land those all important hooks to go in and flay a team fight. Or you can go, of course, the popular right now, which is the Glacial Augment, which will get you that extra slow field around the person you hook.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I've seen a lot of different things going on with Fresh, but as Fresh isn't the main tank,
Mm,
I'd say you can probably uh, what is the word? You can probably get away with going glacial and building more enchantery items.
yeah, you can grab that. What was it? Zeke's Conversion, I think it's called now. Which gives you
Uh,
like this.
yeah,
Forget.
Zeke convergence gets built sometimes. I meant more like what's that called? Ever Shroud? Is the
Oh,
item?
the Evershroud. Yes, that increases damage on CC the opponents.
And we actually get to see here. Lilia is in fact top. Is gonna go
Yes.
against Udyr.
That's gonna be an interesting matchup.
I
I'll be
know.
honest.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't. I'll just be honest. I don't know this matchup at all.
I don't know this matchup either. I bet with how much Udyr Cuddle Snuffles plays though, and with how much Arland prioritizes picking the Udyr, basically every game, I'd say he knows all the major matchups. He has probably versed them, but I do know that Lilia does heavily win into tanks like Ornn and
Hmm.
whatnot. So I'm not sure
Yeah.
how well that translates into Udyr, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, well, the prancing deer like just like dances circle around any real melee. Like as long as she can like keep her Q up, right? Gives her that extra movement speed, and then the burn on her abilities will just like slowly melt you down.
Yeah,
Look at new Udyr, of course, got that beautiful like CC immunity on his empowered E. The boar is it the boar? I think it's a boar now, right? No, it's the ram.
is it?
Boar is the old turtle.
Yeah, it's the Ram, the one that if
Yeah,
you
it's ram.
auto someone they get stunned. It's the same one that gives
Yes.
you immunity.
Yeah. Yes, once you have it empowered.
I do believe so. Yeah, have still not
Yes.
played Udyr on this since they reworked him, but I do believe that's how he works. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a couple games, so I have a general idea of like how it works. He works very similar as before. The only difference is instead of like just cycling through your abilities, you have them a little bit empowered. So like just a little timer that goes on that increases based on how far you've traveled. I think it's how far you've traveled and how many times you've changed stance. And once it's full, you recast the stance that you're already in, and it will empower it to do something extra. If I
Ye-
remember,
yeah, that
if I remember
sounds
correctly.
about right. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But man, this game, um, I'd almost say I really wanna probably have a look at the bot lane that's gonna go on. How much Potato God can peel for their own bot lane, because it's just a matter of time. Rakan and Tristana both scale, but not nearly as well as Varus.
Hmm.
Nowhere near as well. So it's really gonna be a question of time of can they get the lead on Tristana high enough so she just carries through the mid to somewhat late game, because we actually don't get that late game, especially in this tier of play. Everyone very much aware of what they're doing and how to play.
Right. Good at closing out those games once they do get that lead.
Yeah, it's very common. It's not like in my solo queue games where I can get games that last 40 minutes or a 10k, 20k gold lead, and then the losing team wins just off of some coin
Yeah.
flip fight. Just doesn't happen.
So while we wait here for our timer to go down to preserve competitive integrity, we will take a short break and come back with the game.
You are.
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the rift for Contingent Esport versus Chaotic Kirbygasm. And we have here on the red side, it is going to be Contingent Esport.
Welcome to Summoner's
No, it's
Or is it not?
actually
Nope.
no.
I
Yeah,
have it backwards.
I forgot to mention it to the viewers actually, but CE is for
30
Chaotic
seconds until minions
Esports,
spawn.
and it's Chaotic Esports. Chaotic Esports, and then the sub team of that is Kirbygasm. So if you see CE, it's not Contingent
Ah.
Esports. Contingent Esports is on blue.
It's on blue side. I have that completely backwards. So let's try that again. So we have here, it looks like they were trying to set up a counter invade. We have Chaotic Esports Kirbygasm with Molinax in the top lane playing Lilia, Perfect Power in the jungle piloting the Maokai, Yusef in the mid lane on the Seraphine. Verticality is going to be the bot laner here on the Tristana, supported by a rope on Rakan. And for our boys in the contingent, we have Cuddle Snuffles in the top lane on his Udyr, Tater God in the jungle on Jarvan 4. We have Re10 mid lane on the Syndra. Pure Salt is going to be piloting the Varus bot lane, supported by Please Doge Field Jungle.
Yeah, we might see some level 1 action going on here. Oh,
Yeah, it looks like we're good. Oh, there's a Dragon W in, gets both of them, but the trade back by Pure Salt is actually quite good. Bomb on Doge is not as powerful, so a slight HP lead for Contingent.
yeah, I'm not really baffled, but I'm just unsure why Tristana didn't go Halo Blade. If you're gonna go for these really early game plays, why not go the rune that makes you be able to proc your bomb really quickly, instead of the, well, more scaling rune of Lethal Tempo?
Yeah, early trading top lane where Snuffles was able to get the better of the Lilia. And a good stun from Re10 mid as well, so far.
Both got level 2 about the same time, so I don't think
Oh,
there's gonna be too much trading.
No, and the only everyone's chugged one potion, so
Yeah.
pretty much on even footing. Slight push lead, of course, to the Tristana with her passive.
Definitely, yeah. We can see that both the junglers clearing down towards about, kind of like I thought. There's gonna be a lot of action going on there, but Maokai even skipping his Krugs, is that, I think? Yeah, skipping his Krugs, skipping his Wolves, and just piloting down.
Yeah, I would assume, of course, that Potato God's going to skip his Krugs as well. Maybe look bot lane here, because they are pushed in. Oh, actually, looks like he might be heading mid, in fact.
Does look like it. I'm not sure Seraphine is that gankable, especially with flash up and, you know, but you gotta utilize that early knockup.
Yeah, looks like he's going to get a shot, but nope. Just scaring him off the wave for a second.
Yeah, and both junglers pathing towards this crab, but seems like Chaotic Esports are gonna get the prio on this, so Jarvan probably not gonna die.
Jarvan
Has to
did.
burn flash.
Yeah, had to burn flash, had to get out of there. He did get the crab on the smite, so
Oh, he did get it.
he did get it, yes. Now, of course, Yusef was able to get a good trade, though, on Re10. They're coming down to around 20% health. And oh, so we missed a bit of a fight bot lane. Pure Salt going in onto the Tristana. Two more autos. There it is. The pop on the passive E. First blood to Contingent. Okay, going in under tower. Gets one, gets two, and then gets the counter kill back. Going to the Thresh.
Yeah,
So very messy fight.
it's a very massive fight indeed. Tristana didn't get any of those kills, and it's actually Pure Salt and Varus that got first blood there, so that's hugely worth for Varus. I'm not really entirely sure of this bot wave state right now. It seems like it's actually pushing into Varus, which means Tristana's gonna miss even more waves as she's coming in.
Yeah, this looks like it's pretty even, but looks like it's going to be pushing slowly into Contingent Esports side of the map.
Mid gank going on though.
Again, yeah, but misses the stun, and this is the Flag and Drag as well. Good trade back and forth. Rope coming in, and kill with the Q on the Jarvan. More action going on top laner. Snuffles is trading relentlessly with Molinax. Getting the worst of that trade, unfortunately. Molinax is starting to get ahead, but gonna try again.
Might be a solo kill here. Oh.
Yeah, pops the ghost, pops the flash. That is a trade for summoners in top lane.
You take those any day of the week, I'm pretty sure, as Cuddle Snuffles. Ghost is on a much lower cooldown. He's gonna be able to push in the wave into the tower now and get a free recall, not having to, or potentially not having to burn TP. We'll like see what transpires top. You know, some top players.
He is getting ganked by power here, maybe overstaying a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think he
Can he
dies.
get out? No. Oh, he dies for it and
He
gets
does
it.
go for it.
Maokai. Sadly. Maokai's to his advantage, untargetable while he even gets towards the tower, so he doesn't even get the warm-up shots in the tower.
Yeah, I thought for sure he would make it further in, but I underestimated the speed of Udyr, I suppose. But a bit of a
Yeah, well,
play
Maokai might have had
off.
the... yeah.
Doesn't
jumping
cancel
out, yeah.
the jump, unfortunately. No flash. But,
He does have Hex Flash though, and more trading in the top lane. So it does get the proc on, hits the ult to get the sleep, and procs it again. William down, will he make it to his turret? He does make it to turret safety.
that's very painful as well for Cuddle Snuffles. He just TP'd into lane as well. Not really sure.
At least he's new here.
At least he is Udyr indeed. He's not gonna get turret though by the Lily, I don't think, who already burned her ult. That has no flash or nothing. He's just gonna get that wave for free, it seems like.
Yeah.
Dragon is gonna
And,
get picked up.
Yeah, Chaos is gonna start it up. I don't know if they have vision of the enemy jungler, but the R looks like they do see them rotating and do back off.
Do back off, you have to respect that ward. Jarvan, as you know, can just jump in and cause a lot of problems.
Definitely, and Maokai is at a level disadvantage currently, sitting at level 4 to Jarvan's level 5, so the smite damage is definitely in the Contingent Esports wheelhouse right now for advantage.
Yeah, but they have Prio and bot that they just acquired. Mid is slowly getting Prio as well. So if I had to guess, I'd say that's probably gonna eventually be that dragon take when CE, or no, not CE, not contingent.
Chaotic.
Chaotic,
Yeah.
chaotic esports
Yes.
decide to pull the trigger on that. That's gonna, if it throws us off, just imagine everyone else.
Oh my, we got the double C's in this game.
Yeah, here we see bot got Prio, as if we thought Seraphina's probably burning most of her mana trying to push this in, getting a bit of a lead, and oh,
Yeah, they should be able to just pull this out though, and it'll make it a lot safer. Seeing as this probably just gonna give this up. Jarvan is in his blue side jungle there, just clearing that, and looking to maybe get some vision in their enemy red side jungle. I'm guessing.
or even if,
So that's
if
good.
he sees that this dragon got taken, you're probably
Yeah.
gonna try to go for that red.
Well, I assume he knows they're there, seeing as they did clear a ward before starting it.
True, true.
But looks like he did go on Rift Herald, in fact.
Yeah, Lilia did spot it out though, so Maokai's probably gonna head up here eventually.
They might go for the trade though. It looks like they might just let the Contingent Esports have this because they're nobody's moving at all. They're content to just farm in their lanes and in their own jungle.
That is
So
true.
this looks,
Yeah.
looks like this is going to be a free Herald for Contingent Esports.
Yeah, he does just pick it up. There was a bit of Prio mid, but I assume they already just made a play. They already burnt resources for it, and well, Cuddle Snuffles did actually push in the Lilia, which I did not expect. So, yes, Udyr has a bit more pushing power than I thought.
Yeah, well, that Phoenix dance is nothing to scoff at.
Definitely
Even
not.
though they did swap it to a in mid lane, Potato ults right in onto the Seraphine. She is forced to flash out, and nothing more will come from that.
Not for the moment, no. Maokai was hovering around there, as you can see on the mini-map, but couldn't help in time, it would seem.
Yes. Of course, that is a flash blown for the Seraphine, making her a lot more vulnerable.
Bit of
gonna
a
be a dive.
might happen here.
This is going to be a pretty powerful dive because Maokai does have his ult. There it goes. Brambles coming in, ruining the Udyr under his own tower. Lilia hitting him with with her abilities. Sleep right under tower. And ooh, taking a little bit too much there for Chaotic, but Lilia does secure the kill onto the Udyr.
Yeah, I wasn't. You could actually. God, I haven't casted the game in a while, so I'm just losing my tongue all the time. But you can actually see Rakan rope also being there on top in case they needed him for that play.
Yeah.
But also
Right.
on that Maokai dive, you could see him trying to use W to reset aggro, but it didn't really quite go.
He might have just been a little bit out of range, but there's a fight in the mid lane. Not ult in, but a flag and drag in to knock up the Seraphine. And Robe did get a nice re-engage. However, the damage was there, and Yusuf does go down.
Yeah, Rope doesn't quite pull the trigger fast enough there, but I think it's a good thing actually that he didn't pull the trigger, because then he would have horribly died most likely. Just like
Rope
here.
is going to be in trouble here, where he's getting hit in, flayed back, and that's a dead Rakan.
I think we did answer the question that it does cancel Rakan W.
It sure does.
The more you know.
Yeah. Now use this in our own amazing plays.
Oh.
Looks like Contingent is going to be hard forcing this bot lane turret, flaying the Maokai back. Of course, he twisted advance out of the box and TP down for the Lilia. Tristana having to jump out, but Jarvan's right on top. Does get the kill. Varus is trying to trade back, however, against the ultimate Seraphine. Good stun from the Syndra. Fortunately, Potato God is now in no man's land, and he's going to go down. Shut down to Lilia. And Re10, sorry, is going to be able to get out. Oh, does get slowed, does get hit, and the Seraphine passive does tag him with the extra echo. So that turns out to be a 3 for 1?
4 for 1?
4 for 1?
4 for 1. I don't
4 for 1.
Yeah, Cuddle Snuffle still has TP, so I don't think he TP'd for that, but everyone else died, I think?
Everybody else died at least once there. Yes, I think you're correct. Kind of lost track of that fight a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. But Cuddle Snuffles did get a bit for that in top lane. So you can't blame them too much for not TPing.
I did miss the Herald drops. I'm assuming he went bot lane on the Herald. It's down to 1 plate. And it looks like we got a lane swap here, as the Contingent Esports has swapped and moved their bot lane mid to catch that wave.
Well, yeah, Tristana has been catching solo waves against the Varus, but you don't really want that matchup usually, because Tristana can very much solo kill Varus if he isn't ready and doesn't have that shield bow up, which he doesn't quite yet. So
no, definitely, yeah. The Tristana burst is extremely lethal to an ADC that's all by himself.
Yeah, it sure is. Bit of a mid play going on here.
Flash mid, hook, miss. So a bit of a non-play, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Just putting some pressure in.
Flash. That's not too bad.
I think it's chest flash, you're correct.
Yeah.
Sadly, like the wave clear on the Seraphine is starting to really push back on Contingent Esports here with the completed Liandry's. Dragon is spawning.
And they're getting all the mid prior they need for it as well. Lilia all the way down. It seems like Cuddle Snuffle may just stay top. Does have TP, so this could just turn out into just a meat fight 5v5. We will see. They might just give this one in exchange for mid and top plates.
Yeah, it is only second dragon, so it's not as detrimental, and they can get the plates and maybe even a whole tower if they play it right. Re10 is by himself bot lane though, so he should be careful.
Definitely should. Yeah, I'm not sure he's aware. Rope was spotted out on the ward there, and you can see Maokai, so RE10 definitely respects the dive there, staying way back even though they did not see where the enemies are. Very respectful.
Yep. So now it's gonna be maybe a bit of a tower race here to see who will be able to get that first tower. But Jarvan, flag and drag in on the Lilia, gets the knockup, gets the ult on top as well. Lilia does get the sleep off, but it's not enough. The burns on both those champions takes her down.
Has been destroyed.
Yeah, you may be able to disable Udyr and Jarvan from auto-attacking, but that Bammy Cinder on Cuddle Snuffle is still gonna tick until you're dead.
And meanwhile, bot lane though, Verticality was able to secure first tower. I don't think he got all the plates off it. I think they did drop off before he was able to secure him. But that does give them a nice opening up of the map in the bot lane.
Yeah, if we go to the gold lead, we can actually see bot lane, which is the one lane which, well, we did want a lead for Chaotic Esports. They're actually almost dead even. Pure Soul just collected that wave in mid, so he had that one wave. But other than that, they're dead ahead in items, experience, and gold. While in top lane, there's it's actually opposite dead even.
And overall, it's a very, very even game. About only a couple hundred gold separating the two. Oh, scratch that. It's about 1,000 gold separating the two. So it's Contingent Esports does have a lead, but it is a very small lead. And it looks like they're setting up here to get the Rift Herald, the second Rift Herald here.
Yeah, it's surprising that we see this much of a fight for second Rift Herald. As we know, it doesn't get nearly as much value as the first one. You cannot push plates with it nearly as effectively. You see a lot of posturing here.
Yeah, and there goes the Maokai ult. The Seraphine all over on top of the Re-10. Re-10 is in trouble. Pure Solace has a Maokai on top of him. Jarvan jumps in, catches 3 of them. However, the rest of his team behind him getting pushed off of the team, and that's a 1 fight. So a 1-for-1 for Chaotic. Contingent Esports still thinks they got it, but that's 2 people tagged with the Lilia.
Yeah, and even if it is a 1-for-1, the health bars on the Chaotic Esports are so much higher than for Contingent Esports. There's no way they can fight this, even with player numbers being the same.
Definitely. Seeing as well as like the jungler did fall for Contingent Esports, right? So that's no smite for them.
That is definitely no smite, yeah. Got a bit cut out there, and Tristana were just free firing, and that Kraken Slayer from Tristana, especially with lethal tempo fully stacked, it hurts. It really does.
Yeah, well, in a straight up front to back team fight, Chaotic does have the team fight advantage there, having the big beefy Maokai and the engage of the Rakan.
Does have it, yeah. Good thing Chaotic Esports didn't overcommit there. There was definitely an opening there with Lilia finding 2 with her E. Could have potentially popped Wilting Lullaby, I think the name of her ult is.
I think that sounds correct, yes. It's something Lullaby, because it does put you to sleep.
Wilting, Lilting, not too sure about the exact wording of that, but...
Lilting Lullaby, yes, that's what it's called.
Okay, so I guess now we know for sure.
I knew it was a lullaby, because it does put you to sleep.
Lullaby
Once you get tagged by... Rope is in a bit of trouble, but he is the slippery Rakan, so he looks like he's going to be able to just full eye out of there, touching onto his Seraphine.
Yeah, even blue buff, not enough to slow him down. Like you see in some regions, in like LCK and whatnot, some Rakans sometimes not grabbing flash at all, because they don't need it with their W for laning phase.
Right. True. However, I do feel like the extra like ability to flash engage on Rakan is definitely very valuable here, at least here in NA.
And yeah, everywhere. Especially now. I haven't seen it that often anymore. It's now that you can just flash ult someone and then W. It's a really...
Oh, Rope gets caught by the stun, but he's able to get out of there as well.
Yeah, it's Rakan with Mercury boots. Isn't gonna get caught. Varus looking for ult, catches Seraphine.
He does catch Seraphine. The Maokai is in return though. It does slow the whole engage down and kind of fizzles out. Snuffle's going in. But looks like it's not much of a Rakan from the back. Gets a good charm on both carries. Maokai's right in the fight, pushing him back. And that's and Tristana's just in the back free firing. And that's a wipe on there for Chaotic. Getting 3 down. Rift Hill pushing down. And now they're going to keep pushing here into the base. Very well played here by Chaotic Esports. Oh, but Potato Guy goes in, tries to slow him down with the Cataclysm, and does indeed slow him down, but it's just not quite enough. They're gonna definitely break through into this inhibitor.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if the team teleport there from Tristana, or not Tristana, Seraphine was quite worth it, because you're going to disengage there anyway.
Yeah, but it looks like they can maybe rotate right to Dragon, and it looks like it's gonna be the Hex Deck Dragon, which we didn't mention will be our Rift for this game.
Will be the soul.
We got those, yeah. Well, and Rift, so we'll get those like beautiful portals to reset. Because they're just not gonna just let them have it here. They're gonna go in. They're gonna try and steal, and he does steal the Dragon. Team fight going in. Snuffle's on top of the carries. Good ult and kills. Good ult by Re-10 and gets the kill, but however. The wallets are a little bit too strong right now, and they're being smacked around.
That was such a huge knock-up coming in from Rope. I think he knocked up 2 or 3 players of Contingent there, one of which being Pure Salt. That's just deadly. That's just so hard to do anything against. No shield bow, no tank item is gonna save you from that one.
Yeah, and Chaotic can maybe just run in right here and maybe push the win, but looks like they are going to go for just the one Nexus turret and back out using those beautiful Hextech gates to get out of there.
Yeah, giving Chaotic Esports not giving Contingent any chance of coming back here. There was a chance that they misplay ending the game there and then giving over a lot of gold. Some of the bounties as well on Tristana, 650, that's almost 1k to whoever kills her. Don't want to give Contingent any chance whatsoever. I really respect that.
So I've noticed something a little strange that I haven't seen before. The Harvester on the Syndra.
I have actually seen it from specifically RE10 before. I haven't really seen any other mid laner pulled out though, but for all I know, Ludens does more burst damage to a single target, but Night Harvester can obviously proc on an entire team.
True.
And
I
can't really add burst damage.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like maybe burst damage might have been a better call here, seeing as like just they are pretty heavily on the Tristana basket here.
They are definitely on the Tristana basket, yeah, and mana and the pen you get from Ludens. Really valuable for trying to burst targets, while I think the only thing you get as the mythic passive is ability haste for Night Harvester.
And unfortunately, Re10's just sitting on no other legendary, so he's not even getting that as well. If we look over onto Chaotic's team, we see several items completed. We got 2 items on both, on all of them except the support. In fact, 2 items spikes coming in, and they are starting up the Baron here. They should be able to take it down, unless of course we got another fantastic steal.
Oh no!
Nope, not this time. But he does. He does. I was gonna say he almost got the first time out, but now he's going in. Beautiful Seraphine on 2 of them, locking him down once more with the Recon ult, and this is just an absolute slaughter. Contingent Esports go for the Baron steal, and in return are just spread over the map, and that's probably going to be game.
I think so as well, yeah, Megalodon. The Cuddle Snuffle is the only one left, but I don't think they have the power to clear these waves, especially not with Baron not minions. You can see he just skipped the team altogether, just went for that wave, but
went for the wave, and sadly the wave they just waved back at him and just sent him right back to the fountain.
Yeah, you can see a bit of a teleport coming in there as well, just at the end of the game. Wow.
Nice and cheeky. So that's a 23-minute victory for Chaotic Kirbygasm.
Yeah.
Wonderful name.
Yeah, for sure. This game it did not go at all like I expected it to, honestly. There was a lot of action going on in bot, which was sort of what I expected. But the leads on Tristana didn't come from where I thought they would, and yeah.
No, Tristana was just able to get a good amount of farm, and after that, sadly, Contingent was not really able to team fight with their comp. Unfortunately, they were able the front to back for Chaotic was just stronger, and once they started losing one fight, they were started losing the next one and the next one. Basically just losing to the sheer weight of their wallets.
For sure, yeah. There was quite a bit going on the map as well. A lot of like ganks coming in from both junglers. Surprisingly, not nearly as many plays in bot lane from Chaotic Esports, Maokai player, than I expected.
Well, it did seem that both the bot lane was doing very well by themselves, being able to push in the various Thresh under tower and setting up for a couple dives we did see. And they did try and shut down Snuffles in his top lane pretty heavily. They did get, I think, 3 ganks during the laning phase there.
Yeah, but with like staying top, giving up those dragons, Cuddle Snuffles did get the plate gold and EXP from the waves, but the Lilia just managed to do way more in fights because of that lilting. What was it? Was it lilting or lilting?
lilting, so like a
Lilt.
flower.
Yeah,
Yes,
flower that's lilting. A lilting lullaby managed to get a lot of plays going on in the games, really finding a lot of picks with that, and actually
Yep.
just denying smite from Potato God that had gotten some of the other ones off.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. That no, the team fight prowess of their composition there was on full display. So much AOE. It was so difficult for Verticality to even like get for Verticality to even get jumped on with the between the sleep, the Maokai, the Rakan. Like that Tristana was so safe, could just sit in the back, auto attack to her heart's content, and jump onto the weakened target after.
Yeah, you couldn't have asked for a much better game with Tristana there, I'd almost say. Like, obviously that level 1 play that they had could have gone a little smoother, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it could have if they went, like I said, Hail of Blades for that added attack speed so you can proc that, not Blast Pack, that's Ziggs, but bomb that Tristana has.
Yeah, explosive bomb there. The Tristana E.
The Tristana E, yeah, as
It's Tristana
everyone
E.
else
Yeah.
knows it has, yeah.
It's a bomb on your head.
It's a bomb, yeah. What more? Okay, just don't think about it too much if you're watching this from an airport, and you should be all good.
Definitely. So Chaotic does take game one in his best of three. So let's see if Contingent Esports can rally back and push this to game three. We're going. And here we are for game 2, right into draft. Uh, if you're just joining us, this is a game between Contingent Esport and Chaotic Kirbygasm. Best of 3. Kirbygasm did come out of game 1 with the victory. So we're going to see if the Contingent Esport can rally the troops and bring back us some victories to push us to a game 3.
We'll definitely
Now,
see, yeah. And if you're just joining us as well, I am Uraazi, or as I go by Urasberry, and
I am Megalophon.
yes.
Now, we are in draft here, and the bands are Fast and Furious again. We got a Atrox, Caitlyn, and Yasuo band for Contingent Esports, and a LeBlanc, Orn, and Azir band for Chaotic. And once again, Chaotic Esports first pick locking in that Udyr.
Yeah, they did slam it in once again. I don't personally think it had nearly as much success as it normally does for Contingent Esports, especially with that Lily on top. And it seems like it's just gonna be that counter matchup. We might just get a Disrater rerun of last game. It's all the same champs.
Oh, is this gonna be a salty run back? Was it not that was it because it wasn't a draft, it was the play, so just run it back.
Yeah, and it's same side as well, because
Mm-hmm.
Chaotic Esports got to pick which side they wanted to be on the first round. They picked red, and this time Contingent Esports actually picked blue, but Graves.
Yeah, we're gonna see a different jungler this time. So instead of the more supporty, tanky Jarvan, we're gonna get the aggressive, hard farming Grave here.
Yeah, a bit of a raid boss in the early slash mid game. Might even be
Mm-hmm.
the late game menace, but as we know, these games are probably not gonna go to late.
Chaotic though, just gonna keep running back what worked. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Gonna grab in that Maokai.
Yeah, for sure. And with this grave, there might just be more of some pressure there. We might even see some support to match up with the higher tempo of Graves as compared
Mm.
to Fresh last game.
Yeah,
Rakan
that's
ban, we can
the
already
Rakan
see.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that they didn't Contingent Esports did not like that Rakan. It's
No.
a little too disruptive, I think.
Yeah, rope absolutely popped off, finding a lot of knockups left, right, and center in the team fights, especially when it really mattered. Finding charms and knockups on the people that really mattered, and even when they did get caught out a few times, they did get out with their W.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Jack's team comp last game had so much like long range catch and just team fight disruption between the Maokai, the Seraphine ult, as well as Rakan, right? So putting Rakan out of there to break up that triple combo. Let's see if Contingent can re 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 repurpose maybe their stretch again, but like you said, you probably want something a bit more aggressive.
Yeah, or if you're really throwing it for a curveball, it could just be Varus mid, and they're just hiding it.
That's right. Yeah, she did mention that last draft as well.
Yeah, and it is just gonna be the Tristana again, probably into the Varus
Mhm.
matchup, and probably some other
Okay.
really aggressive support, I'd guess.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even Maokai.
Yeah, maybe Maokai. What would you like Contingent to grab here if you're thinking it's maybe Maokai Tristana bot lane?
I'm not too sure. You definitely need something disengage or something that can shut down the Tristana. Lulu, as we know, not a bad option. You can polymorph
Mm,
Tristana. Tahm Kench also very solid option as you can eat
yeah,
the Varus. Um,
definitely.
or whoever the support is going to be, probably a melee support. You can really trade with them, and with that thick skin and tongue, you can really get a lot going on.
Yeah, so they're gonna lock in that Tom Kench, and now they're hovering the Sandra. Ooh,
Veigar.
did I talk too soon?
I think Aritan is trolling us a little bit.
Maybe a little bit,
Yeah, Annie
eh?
lover.
Now we don't know what it's gonna be. Probably not Annie, right? That's that we can say probably.
Probably not Annie, yeah. Yeah, it's just gonna
Syndra.
be Syndra again. Are we gonna get
That,
the patented RE10 Night Harvester Syndra again? Is the question.
perhaps, yes.
I feel like it's a bit hard to build into it though. You don't have the lost chapter that gives you mana and whatnot, and yeah, kind of like I felt that slam melee hyper aggressive support might just be what comes out.
Yeah, our Titan of the Deep here gonna try and make sure they bury oh
Oh,
oh the Blitzcrank swap at the end there. So we got Tristana Blitzcrank lane. Spicy.
I kind of like that more actually. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
if I would look at it from chaotic esports side, you can't really trade with Tom Kench as Nautilus. This Tom Kench is absolutely, like his character suggests, absolutely eats you. And
Mm.
like, yeah, you might kill the AD carry of Varus, but then Tom Kench is just gonna kill both your carry and you as Blitzcrank. So it it is a bit rough.
Mm-hmm. And of course the Blitzcrank can get a 2-for-1 special if you get the hook on someone that Tom Kent's already eaten.
That is true, yeah. And what do you call it? It's gonna be a lot easier to catch the Varus out because you cannot eat the AD carry of mid hook. I don't think, unless please dodge Phil jungle just has some godlike reactions.
Yeah. It is the Blitzcrank hook is pretty quick.
It is
Not
pretty
like
quick.
it's not like a Thresh where you're really just hooking a fish with that one.
Yeah, for sure. And you couldn't really counterpick it as well because we know how much support counterpick matters. And when you don't get to pick it last, you pick Tom Kench a lot earlier. You can't counterpick it to like Morgana or something that can
Mm-hmm.
just counter Lulting Lullaby, Lilia ult, Maokai W, and ult. It would have been really good, but then you can just counterpick it with something that doesn't have CC and bot, and it's gonna be really painful.
Yeah, definitely. And so while we are waiting through a draft here as our players do lock in their champions, uh, I would like to get your opinion. What does with this team now we see both sides of the teams here. What does Contingent Esports need to do here to get the victory and move on to game 3?
I think Potato God on the Graves needs to visit the top a lot more because you could see that I was a bit worried about the bot actually because I knew there was a lot of action going on there and Potato God did a really good job of counter ganking and creating a lot of space for the Varus. But as we saw that game, the Varus and Please Dodge Phil jungle really did just self peel really well even against some of the dives, finding first blood even when getting ganked or whatnot. So I'd almost say if they're that proficient at self-peeling and well, pure salt is pure salt, so it's probably gonna sidestep every single hook from Blitzcrank. Now that I say that, it's probably jinxing it, but
Yeah, cast a curse.
caster curse, yeah. But I do really think that their bot lane is really strong together, even when they aren't that strong early game. If they can outplay Varus, or not Varus, Rakan Tristana, then they can probably outplay this as well. So they should focus their resources elsewhere, get the rest of the map ahead.
Right. So of course I'm going to ask you the same question. What does Chaotic need to do to close this out of the 2-0 victory?
It's basically the same team comp as last game, so
Yeah.
just do the same thing. Make sure top is an island. Make sure that mid is getting prio, which like we saw last time. Seraphine really got prio in mid quite easily because Syndra doesn't have a lot of push, especially without Lost Chapter.
Hmm.
So if you just focus your resource on bot, sort of like last game, it might just work out.
And that Maokai, he's a pretty scary tree. He's quite powerful on the current patch. Like I've gotten several good victories on him myself playing him in the jungle, so I can definitely understand why Chaotic is like grabbing him as best they can here for their team comp.
Yeah, and perfect flower or perfect power. I almost said perfect flower there. Piloting it really well as well, showing some of the strengths that it's really got. Not quite with the tower dive that happened in top going 1-for-1,
Yeah,
but other than that, still really showing what this character can do, quite likely.
it's so much disruption in a team in any team fight, and your ability to displace the enemy like carries like forcibly moving him closer to where you want him to be is such a powerful way to win a team fight because like everybody knows like what everybody knows their own champion, how they move, how they walk around, the speed of this you do everything. But as soon as you're forcibly moved, that just throws you off completely. And I've seen that same idea with like the old insect for Lee Sin, right? You put your the enemy in a position they were completely not expecting to be, and suddenly you can just win that team fight.
Yeah, we have arguably the easier insect to pull off in Blitzcrank as well. All he has to do is just hit the hook, and then depending on who you hook, the team fight is probably just over right there, depending on how it goes.
Yeah, and there's a lot of really juicy targets for that Blitzcrank as well. Because like if Graves get hooked in and he doesn't have those stacks of grit, he is a much less tanky boy.
Much less tanky boy indeed. And with the rest of the CC coming in from Chaotic Esports, the Maokai W, Maokai ult, Seraphine ult, Seraphine stun, Lilia ult, there's a lot of lockdown for the rest of the team. So even if you hook someone like Cuddle Snuffles on Udyr, you might actually have time to burn him down before the rest of Contingent Esport has time to come in and peel for them.
That is a great point there. So while now that we know exactly what we're expecting, what we hope to see from both our teams, we are gonna go for a short break to, of course, again keep our competitive integrity. No cheating, there, boys and girls in chat. And we will catch you right after this little pause. And here we are back for game 2 of Contingent Esports versus Chaotic Gaming's Kirbygasm. That's what it was. So,
Welcome
we
to
got a
Summoner's
run top
Rift.
lane here by Kirbygasm. Definitely,
30
yes.
seconds until minions spawn.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
First
Oh, you guys get to do it here. Yes,
Minions
sadly,
has
the,
spawned.
the chaotics being their chaotic self here and just like screwing up the early game here for Contingent Esports. Now, of course, first blood pre 3 minutes. There's not a lot of gold, but just enough to get that long sword on the Tristana. Yep, definitely. So KI does know that Contingent is starting on their top side blue here. So that's going to tell them that they will most likely be pathing bot again. To, Let's see what happens here. Trading back and forth in the mid lane here, and it's pretty much what we expected and what we saw last game as well. Yeah, I always thought it was Yusuf. Oh, and there's a stun. It's a good stun, a good just trade of damage. Like Yusuf just getting the better of Re10 here. Yep. And Yusuf just gets a face full of shotgun, but it does flash over the wall there out to safety. So no flash on the Seraphine. More training from the top lane. These two players certainly do love to scrap it out of the laning phase here. And, they do have the champions to do it as well. There's Udyr getting a good stun with the passive rolling as well. So getting that good trade, but a good trade back as well from Malorn Act. Yeah, it's a. Of course, the Udyr's kind of just wants to like be a nuisance, right? Later in the game, getting the stuns, and it could also be a split push angle if they do believe the team fight's not where their win condition is going to be. And since Chaotic is running pretty much the same team comp, I'm assuming a very similar outcome if they do try to 5v5. Well. Well, it's because you see, the enemy Krugs are much more delicious and full of extra vitamins. Does look our sync might be a second off there, unfortunately. We're currently at 447. We're about a second off. We should be close enough. I'm unfortunately in the past by a few seconds. Just a moment. So right now we got a fight in the top lane. Cuddles is getting traded by this Lilia. Lilia is getting backed into it, but going back in with the Cuddles ability to do a big firestorm does get the trade, but sadly he is still lower on the HP bar. That's another close hook. Dive is going top. Once again, we see the dive, but this time there's a Graves in the background. Gets the initial stun. And yeah, so we got a trade of a Flash and a Ghost between the jungle and top laner there. So that's gonna make the Maokai's gank so that a little bit less threatening now that you can't just Flash Twitch advance onto your laners. Yeah, and it is a very safe lane, right? Like the various Tomcats, they can play it this way. They don't need to necessarily get super far ahead either. They can just like use their abilities, catching waves under tower. It really is up to. Oh, the stun missed mid lane. Going back in with the Seraphine stun, but didn't have it empowered, so it just slow. No, it's just gonna retreat back into the safety jungle, but he's got backup coming into, and he just gets over the wall, stun onto the Seraphine in the mid lane. Yeah, there's lots of stuns and CC's hitting, but like nobody's in a really good position to capitalize on it. He's gonna get a good trade on top, but Udyr's coming right back in. He's got a fire in his belly. He's gonna stun the Seraphine. His conquerors are stacked. The fight's gonna keep going back and forth as they dance around each other. Oh, Kato's getting the upper hand. Able to use that turtle stance to get a little bit more health back. Get the Phoenix burning again. And the director camera really wants us to see what's going on here. Meanwhile, Chaos is just gonna take this dragon. Nobody on Contingent Esports is really in position to contest this, and even the bot lane is backing. So it's gonna be a free dragon over to our Chaotic boys.
Red team has slain the dragon.
Yeah, once you get a couple points in that queue, that really does a lot of wave clear. You even saw it in the mid game last time, where every time they would try to walk up to get that mid turret, the champion was able to just clear it. Those echo was pretty strong. Yeah. The Graves does have the advantage over the Maokai early. Much more of a threat. Maokai needs at least a few friends. Now, Contingent is getting pinched a little bit, and oh, the Blitzcrank all steals the Herald. Nobody's picking up the eye, but Blitzcrank does go get it, and unfortunately, that's a double kill towards the Lilia, grabbing both the top laner and the jungler. Fight's still going. Seraphine ult does not connect to anybody, and looks like Zero and Dodge is gonna walk out of here, but that is a unfortunate circumstances for Contingent for losing both the Herald and two of their players. Yeah, there's going to be just a trade back and forth, and much of it. Looks like Verticality is not going to commit his jump onto it. He might have been able to get the kill, but he probably expected him to flash away. Might have been even worth just to get the flash. Ooh, yes. That I did not notice that. That is a good point you bring up. That they're getting that extra back to get that extra attack speed and damage. They do get the kill, but the Blitzcrank does miss the hook. Just got the blue suede shoes, and Pearson's gonna trade onto the Blitzcrank, getting the ult on him as well. Missing the Tomcat stun, but the Valkyrie's coming in from the back, ulting the Varus in place, and there goes the Tomcat, silenced by the Blitzcrank and taken down by the tree. Oh no, by the Tristana, I'm sorry. Trading mid lane. Yeah, there's a lot. Oh, here comes the Taylor guy coming in, trying to salvage as best he can here. Maybe they're going to trade it back a kill. Tristana is a little bit forward. Maokai doesn't jump on top of it. The arrow is not enough to snipe Tristana. Verticality is trying to get out of there. More damage onto Maokai. They are very low in danger. And there goes on top. Taylor guy flashes on top of Tristana, gets the buckshot to the face, and secures his first kill. Oh, was it? Oh, there you go. I missed that completely. So, must have just So it's just unfortunately a wasted flash then if that's the case, because it looks like he died either way. So God, just try to counter juggle, but Perfect Power is not letting him here. I think he's saying he's taking too much, but trading back to the top lane. So is about to get slept on. Let's get an extra distance with the unstoppable boar. And then more trading under tower, so does have to be careful here. He is in a killable position. More. Yes, and of course both of them have the both stuns, roots, and wave clear to just make those moot plays. Yeah. As right now, Verticalities has done a ton of damage to this bot side turret between Tristana and the Rift Herald. Most likely going to be able to secure. Oh, that's a good hook on the on the top Kenj. However, not quite enough. But he does get the bomb exploding with the 5 shots. Dodges not looking too hot. Gonna have to take it back here. Yeah. Now he's falling down around 10 CS himself, so we do see slight gold farm leads in top and bot for Chaos, and yeah, good sidestep, and Tristana does gets tagged with the all but instant cleanse it. Now the Varus is just going out to the Blitzcrank. Can he get him? He does get the snipe, very nicely played by Pure Salt. Definitely showing like great like mouse movements and mechanics to play that ADC in the bot lane. Just relying on his.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
Yes, they seem to have studied their opponent's movements and are now able to counter them. Oh, good stun. Oh no. Rizio does hit the win now button and does take down the Seraphine, but he gets hooked up by the Blitzcrank, and now the Brambles are in, the Maokai's in. Cuddle's stuff was going to come in and try to clean this up, does get a counter kill back onto the Blitzcrank, is fighting the Maokai, getting the stun, getting the bat. If he continues to fight, he will get the upper hand because he is just a fighter, whereas the tree is the tanky boy, and going under tower, going to try and keep fighting, does get the kill. And Makai is still only. Oh, I can't see his level right now. I'm gonna assume he's around 9, so that the sap magic passive still in a relatively long cooldown. Is it less? 8 seconds. Oh, level 8. Sorry, yes. Yeah, that's a quick check on that passive. Yeah, it's on yeah, relatively long cooldown there, and looks like there's going to be an attempt to push in the mid lane here, but of course the Seraphine just explodes those caster minions with just one empowered Q.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Yep. And your own ability uses, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it used to. I know it used to be any ability used around you would like power up your stat magic, but now I think it's just your abilities and crowd controls that you do. So it's all based on you, and of course it just has an internal cooldown. But Rick Alley's getting some good damage onto the bot turret, but it looks like they did trade it for the Rift Herald, so Contingent does secure that objective. This stopper Kelly's back now. He's gonna have to take a walk of shame to get into a more safe position. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, yep. Yeah, I do have a bit of a lull in the game because no major objectives are going to be up for a good 2 minutes. 2 minutes on the mountains dragons. We do have a mountain rift here, so that's gonna a team that can get that soul is gonna get that extra shielding, and of course each mountain dragon gives you that extra stacking a armor NMR, which were buffed recently, and they were, yes, a couple patches ago they buffed the individual dragon. So yes, yes, no. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, we are on 20, so we are going into, but before we get into more patch talk, let's talk about this team fight because they're gonna get a good ult over 3 people. Seraphine catches all of Contingent, and now the fight's going in. But unfortunately, Udyr coming in, AoEing the whole team, able to bring him so low. Everyone is blinking health bars on all sides. Chisana jumping in to clean this up, and that is an ace for Chaotic.
Aced.
Seraphine. They found at least 3. I counted at least 3 walked in right back into that bush, right into the waiting arms of the beauty of the Maokai, able to lock them down even longer. Mm-hmm.
Blue team's turret has been
Yep.
destroyed.
Yeah, again, we see the same, similar from last game where in the straight up front to back 5v5 team fight, Chaotic is able to get the upper hand with the massive amount of AoE and board disruption they are able to bring forth. Drag. Yeah, second about. Yeah, feeling's gonna bounce, but that's a Maokai going through the team, starting it up, getting a good stun onto the front line, and there goes Syndra off with a beautiful, beautifully set up hook, and now, oh, that's another wipe here as Chaotic is able to just like use their CC to just lock down Contingent Esports. They're gonna fight back though, but that's another beautiful hook by the Blitzcrank into the Seraphine ult. Potato's gonna fight back as best he can using that shotgun,
Aced.
but not enough, and that's another back-to-back ace for Chaotic.
Blue team's
It sure
turret
looks
has
that
been
way.
destroyed.
They do have a Tristana. Oh, deciding not to. Just getting the one tower. Since they were in the area, they might as well grab that tower. You know, some dessert after that team fight main course. So unfortunately, our boys in Contingent find themselves in a about 6k gold deficit with a 2 lost back-to-back team fights. So I'm gonna have to ask you, what can they do to stop maybe the bleeding and get back into this game? Looks like we're gonna maybe get some action in the mid lane here. Blitzcrank goes up, gets a hook on the tree, not the tree, but the frog, and then we're gonna go in. Seraphine ult does whiff this time, but the Chaotic smells blood in the water, and they are chasing. But I said the call is to disengage. Yeah.
Red team is slain by Nashor.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now will they be able to like
Red team's turret has
make
been
this
destroyed.
Baron play not too good? Potatoes sidesteps the Blitzcrank hook and does get hit by Lilith, so he does get slept on. I'd get out. I wouldn't get on that. Yeah, I'm gonna continue to sidestep again, but another missed Barisol. Varus does get hooked by the Blitzcrank. Lilia's right in, but he gets eaten by a Tom Kench. Oh, Contingent Esports showing his life, getting a double kill in the team fight. The tough person come in, Maokai and Seraphine coming in, but Seraphine does get taken down by the Udyr. Double kill for the Varus, actually, never mind. And now Maokai is all by himself, and a tree by himself in the forest is easily chopped down. I think. He's healing a lot, yeah. But there's the stun. Yep, looks like that. Nope, they're not. Sadly, the chainsaws are not revved up enough for Contingent Esports, and the tree does stay. Yep. But the more important part of that whole team fight is that is 4 Barons gone off of Chaotic. They lose all that push they could have possibly gotten. So that is a huge win for Contingent Esports. Yeah. Yeah. So right now, only Maokai's got the Baron buff right now, so and it's not the best member to have it on your jungler. He's not always in lane. You don't necessarily want him there. Exactly. Yep. But it's not too bad for Chaotic, but like I said, it's a pretty big win for Contingent because that means they got that Baron and got no towers and no objectives really off of it. Just a couple kills in that team fight. Yes. Blitzcrank is looking over the wall, but he does not hit anyone. Contingent is like playing over the wall here, not in a really good position to contest this dragon. They're gonna have to make a decision if they want to go in or not, but the Blitzcrank is being quite a nuisance and a big threat for him. Yeah. Definitely. Okay, I'm just gonna go. Oh no! Just knocked back up. That having to flash over the wall. Is there gonna be a follow-up? The Brambles do get him. The bomb does take him out. Oh, unfortunate. There's a good try by Potato, but unfortunately he got sputted and is now mashed.
The Radiant's turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, sadly they did this. They did decide to commit to just the steal and didn't really go over the wall or even try and push him off a little bit. Might have made it a little bit easier for Potato God to get in there and get in and out if needed to. Yeah.
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 The team's turret has been destroyed.
No, they lose their jungler. They lose a top tower, and of course that all ever important tempo. Definitely. Well, something I. No, go ahead. Finish your point. Yeah. Definitely. Well, one thing I do notice here, and it's something I like to brag on a lot, but like you have to be able to crack mid because that mid turret's giving them so much lane control, so much map control. Like it lets them move around to safety so much easier, so they can move forward so much more aggressively because they have that mid turret, that short lane that's so much closer than anything Contingent can do. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the flash hook for onto the Varus gets hit by the Seraphine and eaten by the Tom Kench. There comes a tower dive. Chaotix going in, does get a kill onto the Syndra, gets the kill onto the Udyr. Tristana's popping off, jumping in, exhausted, but does get the kill on the Varus, and now just cleaning up jump after jump, gets the resets. But sadly, the double towers does take down the Tristana. However, that's another ace for Chaotic, and they are in the base. They are breaking through, so this could be game.
Blue team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
Mm-hmm. Tristana is not here. That's a good point.
Blue team's turret has
But
been destroyed. Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
I think this might be game. Yep, the spawns are not quite in time. Next is a 25%.
A summoner
And
has
there
disconnected.
goes
A summoner
GG.
has disconnected.
So chaotic Kirbygasm does get the 2-0 victory here against Contingent Esports. Mm, yeah, we saw basically the same chaotic does field the same team, just swapping out that recon for a blitzcrank for due to a ban, and just committing 100% to this team comp that seems to have really paid dividends for them. No, no, definitely. Mhm,
I now realize
def
my microphone was just muted, but oh well.
Oh,
Uh,
no.
oh no, yeah. Not sure how long that one has been out, but hopefully not too long.
Would've been nice if chat would've told us,
Would have been
all
nice if
10 of
chat
you.
would have told all 10 of you. It is still a sizable amount of people, 10 people. You'd be
Yeah, 10
surprised. Yeah. There's only
yeah,
10 players playing, so
mhm.
that's
Yeah, no,
enough for one fan per player.
per player, exactly. Hey, it's a half a classroom if you think about it in a school term.
Half a Are classrooms really just 10, 20 people?
20 to 30, give or take.
Yeah, I suppose.
For
Yeah.
for, for elementary school, high school, if really dense areas might have more than that, but like you don't want more than 35 kids in the classroom. That's a recipe for disaster.
That is a recipe for disaster indeed. Having too many kids, not enough teachers to look over them.
Hmm. Well, unfortunately, Contingent Esports here is just gonna have to do a little bit more teaching themselves and try and like go back to the drawing board. So I did enjoy, I did like their team comps. I thought they were well put together. Unfortunately, the decision to do their 5v5 team comp versus their Chaotix 5v5 team comp went to Chaotix side this time around.
It did go over to their side, yeah. I'm not sure about not banning out Lilia. They were really confident
Yeah.
about fighting even with that Lilia available, but
Mm.
it's just so hard. Lilia is such a good team fighting character.
I think they should have banned the Maokai personally.
Or the
I think
Maokai, yeah.
I think Maokai just brings too much to the table right now, and either you pick it from your opponent or you ban it out. It does seem that Potato God either wasn't not didn't want to play or figured he could out farm and out gank the Maokai with the Graves this time around. Uh, and he was doing that pretty well for a while there. He was ahead in farm. Uh, he was aggressive, and he was able to secure, I think it was the first Rift Tail as well. So, but
Uh, I'm not
think
too sure.
I
I
can't remember, but
check.
there was a lot. He spent again a lot of time top lane again, like you mentioned. So they were playing towards the win condition we uh, observed at the beginning, but sadly they were not able to convert it to the victory. Chaotic though played very well in the team fights, hitting CCs when they need to, layering him on top, and just out pushing and out fighting the Contingent Esports.
Yeah, for sure. It was actually Chaotic Esports that got the first herald, but it was
There you go.
Contingent that got the second one.
There you go. So I just mixed those up.
Yeah. Yeah, easy
So I guess
mistake
that's
to
gonna
make.
be
All things considered.
yes. Yeah. So I guess that's gonna be all for us tonight. And I'll just 2 quick games.
That's about it. But really clean performance from both teams, I'd say. Even though they basically ran back the draft of last game, I'm still very impressed by all the players on Contingent Esports and on Chaotic Esports really showing what they've got. They're really showcasing their skill.
Lots. Yeah, pretty fun. I did enjoy the Lilia versus Udyr top lane. The constant fighting there was definitely some fun things to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
So before we head out, do we have anything to plug
Other than ourselves?
other than ourselves? Because you can always if you can follow me on Twitter at Megalathon. I mostly just use it to look at anime and comic stuff. But you're welcome to come see my silly things.
Silly things, yeah. And I am Uraazi, most commonly known as Uraazi. Found on Twitter at Uraspberry. I don't post on Twitter, so if you follow me, then I don't know what you're doing. But yeah, I produce most of the games here at Contingent, and today, surprise casting, I suppose.
Yeah. Thank you very much for joining me here as my color caster here. Is very much appreciated.
No worries. I'm always happy to paint a clearer picture for everyone watching.
I hope everybody else also enjoyed this cast.
Definitely, yeah. And make sure to tune back as well for when Contingent are playing. We often stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, what is it? Sometimes Thursdays, Fridays, like it is today, Friday. And Sundays quite often I do think we stream as well.
Okay. Excellent. Well, there you go. Look at all that content you come and watch watch here on Contingent Esports here on Twitch. And if you haven't already, why don't you hit that follow button? That way you'll get that notification that we are going live.
Yeah, and make sure to turn on the bell as well. Like
Yes.
not like on YouTube. It sounds like a plug for that, but on Twitch nowadays you also have to put in the bell, otherwise you don't get a notification.
That's right. That little bell right next to the follow button.
Yes, sir.
Well, I guess that's it for us tonight. So I've been Megalophon.
I've been Uraazi, and yeah.
No, go ahead. You can sign us out.
Okay, do I get the pleasure?
You do get the pleasure.
And that's it from us. Thank you, everyone. Peace.